nilikuwa napenda rugby guys.
Rugby.
Rugby.
At that point. God alisema okay sawa, hata kama hutapata vitu zingine utapata hiyo. Na nilikuwa particularly napenda vile rasa za rugby guys napenda. Alafu mimi sipendi kupika, so mimi technically kupika naweza pika. Nikipika hautakufa. Lakini
you will not poison.
I'll not poison you. It will be beautiful and yummy food. But I would rather not cook.
Mimi nilikuwa
yako.
Mimi nilikuwa boys. So nilikuwa marriage haikuwa among hizo descriptions. So for me I was like stable job, driving a nice car. If my dad asks for how much, I just dish. And even without dishing, I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4, take up.
I got you.
What fantasies did I have?
I think mi yangu nilikuwa nafikiria itakuwa kama unaona kwa hizi lab scenes vile baby.
Ama mmeingia kwa nyumba ni moto like
communication. Kama una feel frequency kidogo, ongeza. Hata during the actual act you should talk. Unafaa hapo umeshika hapo ndipo.
Hello Mwana Nyuzi, I hope you're doing well and welcome to another episode of Nyuzi. Unajua leo mambo ni matamu, manake leo tuko na mgeni ama wageni moto. You want to wait upon this conversation today because married women are in the house. But before nianze kusema married women, kwa majina ni Brenda Dama na gang kama kawaida unaanza wanasema tap.
Yeah, tap.
Sasa YouTube imekuwa kama TikTok. Ukitap inamaanisha unaambia algorithm, hii content iko sawa, you want other people to see our content. So do so. Kama kawaida jina langu ni Brenda Dama
na mimi siku zote nitabaki kama America Dede.
Alafu waambie
mitandaoni pia tuko kila mahali @Nyuzi_KE.
Ndio. Sasa MK,
niambie.
Unajua huwa tunasema tunapenda mapenzi. Alafu
kama wamefurahi
manake wamesema tusiwaeke na Kiswahili wanaogopa misamiati ama ni vipi, lakini before to preempt hivyo vyote tuseme mambo hayo yote, wacha tu introduce guest wetu, wacha tusiwa hold sana
kabisa.
Karibuni.
Asante.
Shikamo.
Shikamo.
Masaheri. Mahali ulipo. Papo ndipo. There you go.
All right. Hi guys, this is V.
And my name is Sue.
Yes, we are from Tunatoka Dear Bride. Tutajaribu kuzungumza Kiswahili.
Jemeni
sanifu lugha ya taifa.
Imeenda.
Tumefunga. But it's Fee and Sue.
Fee and Sue, karibuni sana. They are from Dear Bride, but they feel free to changanyeni. Tunaongea Kiswahili, tunaongea Kizungu, tunaongea Sheng. Kizungu pia tunajaribu.
Twende.
Najua huko Susan, huko tumekupeleka Kizungu hapo
utashai. Hata Kijaluo tunasikia.
Omera. Don't joke.
We don't joke. We shouldn't joke. Sawa. So today we welcome karibuni sana Nyuzi.
Asante.
And we're excited to share this time with you guys because one it's a married women conversation, but
betuweka kwa depend.
You're feeling the heat.
We are feeling the heat. Pressure.
Yes. Just relax. So as you were even discussing here with MK, tulikuwa tunasema leo ni wanawake wenye wameoleka. So personally I've just been married for a few years. I think just after you, but you can just let us know maybe umeoleka.
What is a few years?
A few years, unajua unaambiwa kuna zile conversations ukiwa nazo unaambiwa umeolewa for how long. My grandfather used to say ati mtu afai kukusimamia harusi kama hawajaoana for 50 years. So kama you're not 50, it's a few years.
It's a few years.
Yes. So we are just
a few years.
I think we are 4 years.
Pressure ya watu wamekufa. Hizo nazo.
Au walishaenda.
Au wameenda. 50 years anymore. So miaka yako ngapi?
Just under, I think this year I'll be 5 years married.
That's good.
Unaona, it's only few.
That's a half a decade.
Marriage counselor.
kidogo tu uwe marriage.
Unajua kitu.
Kuna
kitu unajua.
Okay. Haya, marriage counselor services available.
Come on.
I think I have been married longest in this panel. Which is 6 years.
Wow.
6 years now. Yeah.
As it's 4.
Oh, 4 years. Nice.
On our 4th year.
And I'm the youngest.
Uh-huh.
Acha tuifungie hapo. I'm the youngest. So
So me, I think the belief is whatever it is you have is valid.
Yeah.
Like it's valid. Your experience is not invalid just because
Just because
a few years.
you are young kabisa.
so I'm niko
still
naweza kuwa
valid.
marriage
Even 1
counselor.
month.
Ni same
Not
tu.
really, but you have something you can
Ni
share.
kama biashara. Kuna mtu mwenye kwa ideology stage, kuna mwenye ameshaanza, kuna mwenye amefungua shop, kuna mwenye akona what are they called? Akona wasee ameajiri. So au watu wote
Wako kwa biashara.
kuna mwenye anatafikiria kuingia biashara, so mwenye akona idea akona kitu ya kusema.
That's true.
Yeah, we
Kama
all have
uko na
something
idea
to
na
say.
hauna ofisi, huyo mtu anaweza
Kukwambia.
so
All of us have something we can
something to
give.
share.
Yeah.
So you've had, all of us have something to share.
Yes.
So I think the topic today is fantasies versus the reality of marriage.
Vitu ni different.
Fantasies. You know, they say that at girls we always envision that wedding day. We always envision the life after umevayo gown, vitu. You know, you imagine yourself as Cinderella. I think zile stories are easy. Snow White and hizo storybooks, hizo Ladybird stories. Yes, the Disney stories kabisa. So today we want to look at what are those fantasies we had, and then right now in marriage, what's the reality in marriage, and how are we navigating in that space?
Okay.
interesting.
Very interesting because here are two different people from very diverse perspectives. Sue is wale watu ambao wanaandika, wanachora picha ya vile itakuwa.
Yote hii ilikuwa ya wedding planning.
But
hiyo ya Cinderella sidhani.
Hiyo ya kudream. Na mimi ni wale wa as in
easy.
Whatever comes, we just go with the flow, you know. So I think for me, for the wedding day, sikuwa na a fantasy or imagination of ati nataka wedding day hivi or what. But of course for marriage I had expectations and fantasies. I think one of the major fantasies ilikuwa ni once I get married itakuwa tu ni lovey-dovey, tutakuwa tukipendana all the time. Itakuwa ni wapenzi moto. Tunanunuliana, you know, ananunulia gifts, flowers. Alejandro unangoje, unapata ukirudi nyumbani kama alikuwa nyumbani unapata maflowers. Welcome home my love.
My queen.
Alafu unapata utoto petals. Hizi vitu ziko hivi.
Petals.
Kuna petals.
Ukiingia
wear this dress. Kuna hiyo video imekuwa trend. Yo dem mwenye alikuwa anasema the guy, so it's a 2-story house. Then anaingia kwa mlango, the guy is like wear this remove your shoes. Then walk through the petals, unapata another letter inakwambia pick these flowers.
Go this direction.
Akaenda kwa room akamwambia remove your dress, wear this dress. Akavaa hiyo kwenda, alafu anaenda kwa washing machine na wash my clothes.
Forever. But
know there was
Yeah.
fantasy all rosy. You know, when you're dating, kuna ile mapenzi moto amtaki kuseana. It's extremely hot. Unataka kuonesha your best side. So you would visualize definitely itaendelea like itakuwa hivi when we get married. Tutakuwa kukosana ni ile, na hata tukikosana anakuja na kneel down my love.
Forgive me.
Does it seem like it's always yendo anaomba msamaha? Do you always envision
you visualize? It's what you visualize. Wewe utakuwa unafanya makosa, baby girl. You need baby girl treatment. So tukikasirikiana, tukikosana, anakuja ananiomba. Na si ati anakuja mkono hivyo ati mtu sama, anakuja na roses gift. You know, like kuna hiyo rosy fantasy. Ama anakuja ama vacation to coast to go apologize.
To say sorry.
You know, like rosy.
For someone who didn't have expectations.
No, as in terms of I actually just hoped hii maneno ya ati kukosana nini
haitakuwa
tunapendana.
Na hata tukikosana kuna hiyo a rosy way of apologizing and reconciling.
Okay. Tumeingia ndani
Kwa ground.
Kwa ground.
Different my people.
Kwa ground unaingia kwanza, tuanze tu na month 1, una realize hey already you are differing over something as small as kwetu huwa tunapika hivi. Sisi huwa tunapika, already it's a disagreement. As in you find yourself in conflicts zenye uko okay, I did not see this coming. Small. But this is something small. Hatufai kuwa tuki-argue over something as small. So you find some of your marriage is beautiful, but some of those things where you visualize tutakuwa tuki-reconcile na flowers na chocolates.
Yes.
Well, unapata kwa ground.
Kwa hiyo economy huwezi nunua
flowers
kila
all the time.
Ama unakasirishana ndio ununuliwe flowers
all the time. So you find that in real life reconciliation is totally different. Where sometimes wewe ndio utakoki initiate.
Ni wewe ndio
exactly.
And how hard it is for us women to say ama ni mimi peke yangu.
No, it is actually hard.
It is.
Because more often than not we look for.
Oh, okay.
Okay, tell us.
Mimi, it's hard to say sorry. I'll be very candid because I always feel like, but it's not my mistake. Why should I be saying sorry? So
you are right.
But
it's like
hizo moments. Wewe ndio useme pole.
You're hardly wrong.
You're
okay, I know I'm
right.
usually wrong, but oh well.
But
it's not easy. Like kuna hiyo theory part ya what we see in movies, what we see in other people's marriages ama marriage goals au celebrity couples nini. But then ukiwa ndani I think una realize oh wow, when they said marriage is work, it's actually work. Because initially I remember kuna hiyo statement ilikuwanga ni kama more or less a trigger in the sense that guys were like, why are we saying marriage is work? It should be easy, it should be straight to the point. But then I'm realizing it's not at work in the sense that okay, actually ni work juu unafanya kazi.
In terms of communication, apologizing.
Exactly.
Not having expectations. I said there are expectations you have. You realize these expectations will actually be a point of you guys differing. You expect apology to come like this, it doesn't come like that. And then for women, we expect men to be mind readers. Anaona nimefura, nimekasirika. Anafaa kujiambia. So I'm not supposed to.
Nimesema hiyo mara kadhaa, unafaa
kuwa unajua nimekasirika and initiate the process. So you find it's totally different from what you expected and what when you are dating. Here utahave kujihumble. Or ask for forgiveness. Here, uta have to understand you are not brought up together. Akona a way they do things kwao. Especially ukipata mtu mwenye PDA, public display of affection is not their thing. Hawezi beba hizo maua kwa barabara.
Na wewe ulikuwa ushajiambia utakuwa unaleta.
Kuna expect mtu akubebe handbag.
Okay, yeah. In a way.
Ubebe handbag. Okay.
Me first of all, what to expect kuwa mzungu, guys.
Why? Sasa tena unaharibu.
Unachoma.
Mimi nilijua I'll have mulatto babies. Walikuwa tunajua nyororo. As in
alafu
let's just say that life happened.
But you don't regret.
No, but
I don't regret. Obviously when you're in the will of God, you can't regret.
You cannot regret.
But sasa hata wazungu nawapata wapi?
Mombasa.
Position
yourself.
Kama wale watu wa sprinkle but you know
we are
squeezy kuna online dating platforms. You just go there and say please kama you're not mzungu or you're not what,
don't come to my
okay.
Sasa mimi nataka kuwa mzungu, hata mulatto babies. I think nilikuwa na expect kufanya.
So the babies
the watch two ma shows na wanini
telenovela
La Adventure, Neighbors, kila Humenda Way. Unaona hizi vitu you're like wow,
this one
they are very cute.
Yes. We just need to mix.
Hadi una picture.
You get the bridge.
But then after some time you quickly
fade away.
When you grow up,
you grow up and you realize there's more to life than all these what you were fantasizing or imagining about.
So for her, she was saying that that is Fiona,
Yeah.
you're saying that we huko una imagine marriage,
The
but yes,
wedding
the
itself.
wedding itself. But for you,
Well, let's just say, for the wedding, I knew what I wanted. Like, but haikuwa hiyo Cinderella yenye ati I think about it from when I'm young, etc. Ilikuwa too more of the moment
you already
nilikuwa engaged, ama the moment nilijua hii relationship kule inaenda. Nilikuwa zile za I know what I want, I know where I want the venue, nataka what type of wedding, cocktail, I knew I wanted to. Sikuwa nataka kuamka mapema kama mtu anaenda kazi. So nilikuwa najua itakuwa afternoon wedding.
sisi
Everything in written.
Tunaraushwa asubuhi by 4 ati bridesmaid waanze kutengezwa makeup.
Alafu unajua niko kwa industry ya weddings kwa sababu mimi ni wedding planner na event decorator. So hiyo kuamka asubuhi kwenda kazi mimi. Yes. Cocktail mimi sitasabu watu chakula. Actually ni just because ilikuwa lazima, but watu
so there was no food.
I'm sorry my guests, but just know hamunge kula, ni Mungu tu aliwahurumia. Hata keki tulikuwa tunaongea tukule nyama choma badala ya keki, but baadaye alikuwa zile za
African
cake hiyo
without a cake.
I was like, sure.
No.
By the way,
ni keki wanakuja kukula ama ni harusi wanakuja kuona sisi tukiunganishwa. Yeah.
Wanakuja kukula hiyo ndo kuona.
Wakulie makwao.
Wakuja wakiwa wameshiba.
Uende kama umeshiba.
Kuja kama umeshiba.
Witness tukifungishwa and then after that kila mtu kwao.
Yes.
Okay.
But yetu pia ilikuwa ni COVID wedding.
So
pia
invite.
So ilikuwa
it was
na ilikuwa straight to the point,
Straight
but
to
it
the
was a
point,
cocktail wedding, so we didn't serve food.
Yeah,
so we can
it's
say
true.
that can't really work at this time. Probably.
can. As a
On
wedding
budget,
planner, I'll tell
like
you,
economy,
it can
it
work.
can.
It can.
Okay.
Okay,
So what are your fantasies then?
In terms of marriage, I think ni hiyo tu ya always having someone at your beck and call. I think mine would be probably on the financial side. Zile za I'll have a guy who will sort everything out.
Your man is your man.
No. Our money will work together. Our working woman, but atakuwa
Loaded.
naambia tu unataka gapi.
Splash.
Let's go baby, let's go.
Baby, you want to go to
Maldives.
Maldives?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Trip after trip.
In fact,
Ninapenda
tunapata
kutravel. So kuna hiyo. But still, bado tuna travel.
happens.
We still do it.
happens,
Lakini
but
ile
hiyo
level
level
ilikuwa huko.
Ikakuja chini.
Realize after marriage, by the way, lazima tufanye kazi pamoja. Because if we don't work, who will finance it? Who will finance it?
You have plans to grow this family.
Exactly.
Unataka kufikiria sijui shamba na nini.
Alafu now in my situation ni ile yenye nilikuwa na work, then after the wedding, I think 2 months after the wedding or 3, I resigned.
Yeah.
Got into full-time entrepreneurship. So hapo tutalipa nyumba ama tutaenda Maldives. Please. Ama tutagrow biashara. Which one?
Priorities.
You have to choose.
Exactly.
I think
So
that's
kuna hiyo theory ya this would be really ideal, but then there's the reality of this is where we are, this is what we have,
to do
and then now this is where we are heading towards. So if you're lucky, you have someone to tell you, baby, where are we going?
Go.
It is well.
Just go. That is you.
Living your
But then
fantasy.
there are, I think majority hapa kwa hii pyramid, majority of us tuko hapa katikati ya, we actually have to put in the work. We have to work together and see, okay, how are we growing our finances? How are we
it's
growing
not just
another?
about him.
It's not about him.
Bringing to the
You
table.
have to get involved as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's
Nyinyi mlikuwa na expectations?
Mimi nilikuwa nazo mingi sana. Zenye zaidi imeniramba big time. Mimi zangu before marriage. I was thinking like nikipata huyu msee, mimi zangu ni za kitoto. Girl child. Wale wa kule nje. Yeah, we're going to have tattoos, you know. Yeah.
You still live your dream. You can still do it. Tattoo.
Natembea tu mmechorwa kila mahali.
Like his name, you know, his name mine.
Ya kubandikwa kila mahali.
Ama kalav.
Yeah, kalav, you know, yenye na complete.
Kuna half love.
I have love and half love. Yeah.
Anamalizia. Ukiungana hivi ina complete.
Yeah. He told me yeah we'll do that definitely. Nilivyoingia anasema mimi hata naogopa sindano. Can we really do that? Yeah. So
matching outfits. Zingine kama vitu kama matching outfits.
Mimi si wa
machi vitenge
nimejua yangu pia ilikuwa outfits. Nilikuwa na expect msi atakuwa anavaa khaki. Nilipata msi anapenda jeans. Guys. Jeans, t-shirts. Kwa atakuwa khaki.
Official.
Cool guy.
Tuko huku tu na cargo pants by people. Na tracksuit. Acha mimi nimeingia hiyo department.
For me also, I think in terms of physical appearance, at some point I really fancied guys who had dimples.
But then nini wasichana na
dimples, men with dimples.
Yeah,
wow.
At some point I did.
Cute.
I was like, oh my god. Let's just say.
Dimples ni mtoto wako amepata.
Ni mtoto sasa amepata.
Okay.
So it's a dream fulfilled.
God decided to fulfill it through my daughter. Aliona tu aki huyo nilimnyima kwa huyo.
Acha
Lakini wacha tu
goals.
So kuna hiyo pia ideal imagination of physical.
Muscle. Nilikuwa nataka.
Oh, you got what you want.
I got the beard, the hair.
And the hairs. Na yangu inaweza kuwa vain but nilikuwa nataka mtu akona ini PG. Nilikuwa napenda rugby guys. At that point. God alisema okay sawa hata kama hutapata vitu zingine utapata hiyo. Na nilikuwa particularly napenda vile rasa za rugby guys napanga. Alafu na vile size ziko poa. Studio. So I got
you got
the
that.
Lord remembered me.
And at least alikupa
The Lord remember you, sister.
The Lord remembered me guys. Na kora manywele. Hata kama sika zile za Wahindi siko nataka
lakini yako nazo.
I'm not racist guys. Lakini hiyo nilikuwa nataka hizo zinaitwa malaika. Unaona I'm selling this.
Yes, zinaitwa malaika by the way.
Just don't know. I'm thriving today in Swahili guys. Akona malaika na nilipata.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for me, I think it was the beard and the hair.
And you got
just
that.
hair and dark skin. And I got exactly. The only thing was the dimples, which has been fulfilled. The rest was just tick.
Wow. So hizo fantasies zingine zinakuanga fulfilled.
They actually, yeah.
Ukitumia macho.
Bad to have.
Ukitumia macho yako vizuri
I think, you have to get someone who, I think also there is physical attraction.
Yeah.
You definitely can go for someone you're totally not attracted. Ati ukimwangalia una feel definitely hiyo haita.
In campus we used to say
percentage
at least
ikue not
nyingine utapata ndani.
Nyingine utapata.
Because I think in the Christian circle kuna hii notion ya ni
your heart. We look at the heart.
Let's look at the heart.
And the values and
brother Solomon
has a good heart.
Has a big
heart.
He has a good
heart.
Is speaking, to God.
Directly.
Na Rabba Shaika. But then hauta deal na
Rabba Shaika, you'll deal with the physical one.
Yes. Hata character wise.
Character.
Hata kwa na Rabba Shaika kila wakati
kwa nyumba
atio sana sasa ni
so probably looks ukikumbuka ulipata the best una tone down pia wewe
you need to, yes.
So
the physical attraction
there has to
be some level of physical attraction.
It has to
be.
In campus we used to say ati hutaki tu mtu tu unajua kuna mtu tu yule mwenye yuko tu like if you are to appear with this person in public wewe you want to be at the back probably mwambie babes utanguliange
you're not proud of that.
You're not proud.
Hadi ukiulizwa who is your boyfriend uweze hata point.
Hayuko hapa leo.
Una point na macho.
Hayuko kama
na macho.
True. There has to be
ilikuwa
some
side
level
by
of
the wakati wa
attraction.
kudate ukianza kudate na uwezi introduce mtu
Then that's a big red flag.
iko shida hapo mahali.
Okay, talking about other fantasies zilikuwa kama hiyo breakfast in bed. Breakfast in bed. Sasa mimi nilikuwa na imagininge nitakuwa naletewa
Breakfast in bed.
Breakfast in
Bado
bed
ni
nakwambia.
possible.
Bado. Okay,
Unaweza
nililetewa lakini ilikuwa
compromise.
once na huwa namkumbushanga naambia lakini at least you'll ever say that I ever brought you breakfast in bed.
Kuna
Vitu zingine zinaweza
sema maybe Mother's Day, Valentine's, once in a while.
Yeah, do breakfast.
but it can't happen every
day.
other day. Ama every
it's
other
true.
weekend.
And also,
probably.
I think in light of that, you need to do things that you can maintain, like in terms of consistency, in terms of doing them.
Yeah.
Because kama utafanya kitu year 1, year 2 haufanyi itakuwa shida. Because it now brings problems. So if you make the special occasions where you can do breakfast in bed, sawa. Ila if you're doing it wale you have just gotten married, umeanza, fantasy fulfilling year 1, and then you cannot maintain the consistency, then
Actually kwa bridal chores mi waambia wasi only start what you can
maintain. True.
If you can't maintain it, let it go.
If
So kama
it's
unajua
ironing,
huwezi
you
osha
can't-
vyombo kila siku,
Don't.
sema mapema.
Mwambiangi ajuangi.
Yes.
Kama
Sema mapema.
upendi ku iron, like me, but I never used to like ironing. And in our home, in our family home, I used to see my dad ironing. And he'll even ask us on a Sunday, baby girl, leta nini nguo zako niko ironing. Yes. Sasa mimi nikienda counseling, kuna tick ati mnaambiwa sasa roles mtick hapo hivyo utafanyanga nini? Mimi sasa si kwa ironing, mimi siku sasa counselor akakuja kuuliza and then ironing sasa yeye hajatik na mimi of course sijatik. Nikauliza sasa
nani atafanya?
Tukazibazi hivi.
Nikasema si ni yeye. Watu walinicheka, they were like yeah, because I've seen my dad doing the doing the ironing, but now at least now he knew that me I expected not to iron. But he was like, no, me I won't be ironing. I was like, okay, so I'll just have to learn to do it and to love to do it anyway.
And
so I think those are some of the things you kind of have to.
And I think actually most of these fantasies, expectations come from our family of origin.
Yeah.
True.
Because small things like even chores. Sisi, we are many siblings. We are siblings. Sisi wote ni wasichana. So ideally, ilikuwa nyumbani kama sisi wote tumesema tunafanya kazi, wewe unatandika kitanda, unapiga dasta, unaosha manguo. By the time 3 hours zimepita, kazi imeisha. Sasa unakuja huku
Wewe ndio hizo 3 hours peke yako.
Na kuna
alafu on the flip side alafu on the flip side unapata sasa yeye huko kwao ilikuwa ni wewe ukishika kazi kufa nayo. Fanya 20
hadi umalize.
Hadi umalize. Mimi huku I'm like we divide work. So you have to now tafuta a middle ground.
So for you the chores you knew that kama ni house chores like mtagawanyana.
Mimi tuliongelea lakini sasa unajua kuna theory
na kuna reality.
Alafu after honeymoon mkirudi sijui nini you happen ni kama I think kila mtu yurudi default settings. Tuna reset vitu tuliongelea
kama mlishasahau tu
zinasaulika, ni kama zilikuwa beautiful ideas
but reality in reality
so unapata tu polepole the man ana retort to kile alikuwa amezoea
kwa wewe pia.
But then also on the flip side kuna hiyo burden ya as the woman in the home and the homemaker kuna hiyo reality ya there are a number of duties zitakufolia
whether you like it or not.
But then sasa lazima ikuwe a dialogue of especially sasa jua tu mtu wako kama yeye hawezi fanya hizo vitu ni sawa, hiyo ina work for you guys.
Wewe ulikuwa tayari umesha imagine.
Exactly.
Yes. So now it's not you are in it.
Now we are in it. But then now what we spoke about is not what's happening at this particular point. Zingine zina happen, zingine zi happen. So ilifika point by then ilibidi to negotiate. Mimi sipendi vyombo.
Wewe unapenda vyombo.
Wewe unapenda vyombo.
Lakini penda vyombo.
Alafu mimi sipendi kupika. So mimi technically kupika naweza pika. Nikipika hautakufa. Lakini I'll not poison you. It will be beautiful and yummy food. But I would rather not cook. On the flip side, he would rather not wash dishes. So the negotiation is he'll deal with the cooking. I will deal with the washing.
I think for me
na mtu asiulize mwenzake atafanya nini, lakini sasa
hakuna kuulizana.
How does it work if you're not asking each other?
Sasa siwacha niwaambie guys.
Let me tell you.
So now what happened is ilifika point sa at first before hii negotiation ingie tulikuwa in a spot yenye mimi ningeosha leo mimi niulize sasa wewe
una
kesho
uingie uoshe
like when uoshe but then sasa hii unaambia okay sawa nitaosha but usiniambie nitaosha saa ngapi.
Hakuna kitu ngumu.
So hapo wewe una expect
like I will just do it
in the morning.
Yeah,
it is 5 p.m. guys. Hizi vyombo zitaosha. Sasa anaanza kuuliza hapa sasa fight ina brew mbona juu unaniuliza mbona tunaosha vyombo. Yeah. So ime take a whole conversation tuko here for.
Wow.
Na bado inaendelea.
Sasa tumefika compromise. Kila mtu anajua.
You know what you
I think with time you find your footing. Na mimi waambia wase ya 1 ya 2 hata ya 3. By the way ufai kujipea pressure. Juu you'll not utajua ni nini unafanya.
No, but also there's the reality of where kids come in. What hata to get hapo bado before I get to the kids. There's the expectation where from how you've been brought up, because for me my dad used to do the grocery shopping. So mimi nilikuwa na fantasia takuwa tuna sit back. Everything is brought. Ataenda shopping, ataenda soko, alete kila kitu.
Hadi soko like market.
Yeah, like analeta nyanya, kitunguu. Wow. All those. Yeye ndo alikuwa anafanya hiyo yote plus the other supermarket shopping. So my mom is just to decide today we are cooking this. So for me nilikuwa najua nimepangwa. So mimi nitakuja tu na keti, we enda grocery shopping, do everything mimi nitakuwa tunapika, you know, and do the my friend. Kwao it's the opposite. The mom is the one who does it. So inafika place you get so offended and he also gets offended. Baka is saying you strike a compromise. Until now kids come and it's a whooping whole other story therein, because you feel like pia wewe mimi you know the kids majorly is my, especially the first like 6 months is majorly you should take up all the other roles that I was doing. And some of them ni pia fantasy when the kids come I'll just be sitting pretty, you know, that pretty house
wife expectations,
you know,
unspoken.
most of them you actually most of this fantasy we don't speak them.
It's
in our heads, we dream
and we expect them
and we expect them to know.
They're not communicated.
They are not communicated. You just expect them huyu anafaa ku read my mind. Or if I'm holding the baby and I'm breastfeeding, I expect you to prepare the food and bring it to my table.
That's a nice one, Fiona, because you're even talking when you have a baby, kulikuwa na hii scenario when you're in the kitchen cooking, and then probably ulikuwa umefanya laundry early in the day, then it starts raining. And he's in the house. Utasikia, babe, kunanyesha.
And I'm like, I'm doing, can you handle? I mean, it's sometimes you usually almost feel like it's common sense.
So it should be common and common sense.
It should be common.
But sometimes they have today, Leo wanna watch. It's not, but it's not common. It's not. So to them,
to you,
and I think
it feels like it's automatic.
Communicate. This is what they actually mean. Because saa zingine unaweza fikiria something is it should be common sense,
but it's not.
Ama it should be common knowledge, but una realize the moment mko wawili kwa hiyo nyumba it's not common. Na hiyo ni a hard thing, ni a hard pill to swallow, because I think we had another small fight about the washer. So I'm good with appliances. So mimi
you're an engineer.
Yes, I am. Well, that's another story, but I am guys. I know it's a whole can of worms. So on that flip side, so we were washing. I think he decided to wash clothes. So he washed. After washing, that pipe, usually afterwards still drains water even after you're done washing. In my mind, I thought that this is common knowledge. But then on the flip side, it wasn't. So mi naona maji imetokelezea, so kuna mahali vile iko you spill water, ni place viatu ziko, which inakosa whole mess. Fight ilibrew hapo, because me I'm like,
but it's common
how
sense.
How did you know that this thing after you're done washing ina spill maji? Him he's like, I didn't know. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't know? Don't you think that if you're spinning, the moment you're spinning, so ilikuwa back and forth of you don't believe what I'm saying. Me on the flip side, I'm like, you're acting like you don't know yet you do. You're pretending. Na hiyo kusema you're pretending, sasa ikaleta a whole.
You're using strong words.
Ikaleta to a whole story. So later on, I realized by the you can assume
that
someone
things are
knows.
common, but
Someone knows,
imagine
but they don't know.
You have to see.
And the resolution afterwards, now that late, after tumeshazushiana, and then later on, tukapata time ya you know, kurudiana.
Hakukuwa na roses.
Hiyo hata bila roses hiyo inakuwa tu poa. Hiyo hata
roses ni kwa mtandao. Huko kwa ground. Kila siku, but I think so long jua mtu wako kama mtu wako ni wa roses ni sawa.
Ni sawa, yeah, there are those people.
It's okay. It's okay kama unapeana roses. By the way, vijana peani wasichana roses. Give the roses. Valentine's ilikuwa kitambo kidogo, but
endeleeni na roses.
Yes. Aya, so anyway, at this point the conversation come to, you can assume when I ask you something, don't assume that I know. Just answer me. Kwa sababu fights also brew from I'll ask you a question that to you will seem silly and utanijibu but then in real sense sijui. Alafu tone yenye umenijibu nayo sasa itakuwa
a bone of contention because why are you using that tone?
And then inakuwa a whole spiral. So ni hizo small things za kama hizo ndio
communication is very key. It reminds me of a case flani kwa ina watu wameenda kukanseliwa. Actually this guy was a pastor, like na ilikuwa issue kwa household yake. Walikuwa ameoana na bibi yake, and then after watu hiyo wamekuja at the remains, you know the way you can cook, maybe kuku ibaki ama samaki ibaki. So the lady ilikuwa food ikibaki anapatia watu hii like wamalize. But sasa when the husband comes home anashangaa ile chakula kwani iko wapi, like kulikuwa kumebaki kuku. Anamwambia ati hiyo kuku nilipea watu hiyo wanakula. Inakuwa vita. So like it went on for a long while. Sasa walipokuja kuileta mbele like for counseling, the lady akaambiwa mimi kwetu food ingebaki, my mom would give it to us. And then yule mwingine anasema mimi kwetu food ingebaki ni mzaendo angengojwa ndio angekuja kumaliza hiyo. Can you imagine? Like a whole these are pastors and they've given this example like for years they've been passing this kind simple thing inaweza leta kitu yani mfarakano kwa sure arguments zenye as it makes sense. Okay, so
come to think of that, unaona sisi Amagiriama kwetu kama kumechinjwa kuku like hiyo kuku hai akichinjwa you know there is part of a meat called firigisi in the hiyo kuku, the gizzard. So it's usually so it's usually inakwanga ya mzae. So hakuna mtu mwenye anafaa kukula mwingine apart from mzae. So may have that notion. Hata nikipika kwangu kama yuko that's his.
Anatoka which community?
Let me just tell you guys. Let me just tell you guys.
This is not anything for them, right?
You see,
no, but
guys.
Kwani ni madharau?
No, I'm a Kikuyu.
Kama ni madharau lakini unanipatiaje firigisi?
I know. I'm a Kikuyu married to a lawyer. Kwetu my dad never even cared nani anakula which part. As in you give, in fact he alikuwa anapenda there's a car after they stick that car part. Like he may never used to take firigisi. And me, of course it's a part of the chicken so anyone can take, even my small sister.
Ukafika
wacha nikwambie nikafika kule Western and it's such a big deal. And to me I kept on feeling it shouldn't be a big deal because it's grow nikikula hivi until I was told kuna siku
ukaikula ulikula wewe mwenyewe
kuikula my husband winked and I knew I took it to him. I was like, I was taking it. You see, ideally ningeikula kama hangeni signal, I would have like, eaten it. It would have just been absurd. I know. Yet to me, ni kitu you know, it's common na kawaida. So you see, I totally get what you mean because
so actually most expectations stem from kule umetoka.
Umelelewa
so inapanga nini sisi kwetu alafu yeye kwetu wao alafu
but sasa lazima compromise
middle ground but zingine hata realizingi hizo expectations ni silent up until sasa mnaanza kuongea in a sober and understanding way, na realize hii ndio maana no wonder una behaving hivi.
But it takes a lot of patience na kulan kuwa intentional kulan.
Okay, VIP gang as we promised, tunajua airtime ndo hii, tunataka kuwapea airtime na unaendelea kutap hapo hivyo. Please share, like, all the good things, comment. Naanza kuwasomea hii airtime. Niwasomee yote ama niwapatie nusu?
Wapatie nusu. Tutamalizia mwisho.
So
watch mpaka mwisho.
So I'm giving you the first numbers. Uanze kuweka, utapata hizo zingine. Aya, so airtime ya green tunaanza 356 28 6671.
Hapo.
Umepata?
Mrudilie.
Haya, 3562 86671. Hiyo nyingine uyekelea hapo chaimalizia. Alafu kumbuke tuko na merchandise zetu hapo hivyo. We have very nice merchandise. Kuko na cape pale, kuko na
bottle ndo hiyo.
Mwavuli El Nino inakuja ama si El Nino, by the way tunapata
El Nino but mvua refu
inakuja. Haya, order hapo merchandise. Sasa tunaendelea. So Fiona, let's talk about success. Let's say before marriage, how do you envision like things will be in the aspect of, let's say, success and achievements? What were you seeing in your head?
All right. Ninapenda kupeana this story which I think most people have had. When you are 18 and someone asks you in the next 8 years unajivisualize wapi, I think one of the things that you'll write is a stable job, number one. Like itakuwa ni kama si stable job, niko kuna wale ambao ni wana biashara. Biashara yangu itakuwa up and running, doing so well, then I'll be married to this, and you have all the descriptions you have written. Then you have I hear millennials, we work for houses and cars. Nitakuwa na nyumba na land. Nitakuwa nimeshika kamoja pale Kamulu.
Kwani hao wengine wana work for what?
Or hidden gems. Gen Z's ni experiences, hidden gems.
Wow.
Looking good, dressing up and all. For us millennials, our definition of success ni pale ploti, nimeshaanza kujenga nyumba, niko na gari, I'm driving, I'm doing well, niko na watoto wawili, both I don't know why people focus on gender, but boy and girl. Some hata watakuwa na preference, I want a boy first, then a girl, I'm a girl first, then a boy. And I think that was my definition, apart from the fact that I had not put marriage hapo. Mimi nilikuwa boys. So nilikuwa marriage haikuwa among hizo descriptions. So for me I was like stable job, driving a nice car. If my dad asks for how much, I just dish. And even without dishing, I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4, take up. I got you.
Umenisomesha.
Umeteseka.
It's your time, daddy. It's your time.
So you visualize things like that. And so I visualized that, by the way. And I was like, this is what I want.
Umesahau kuweka hapo masters.
Masters. For me pia nilikuwa nasema PhD, and then maybe niolewe after PhD.
Ulikuwa unataka professor?
Wow.
Nilikuwa nasema daktari. Doctor Fiona. Before nikue Mrs. Alafu nikiingia pale kwenye Mrs. ni daktari Fiona. Hi daktari.
Dr. Mrs.
Dr. Mrs. my babe. And you see, like nilikuwa na hizo, that was my definition then of success. Until the rubber meets
the road.
Hey, you get married even before you had thought you will get
before
married.
The PhD.
Before even the PhD, and you're just wondering, okay, nilikuwa ni get married at this point. Well, Mungu ali disrupt hizo plans. At least nilifanya masters. Before ni get at least kidogo tu. Lakini bado tu. And then at that point, because nilikuwa tu nimemaliza campus, hey, hakuna. Youths have no
youths have jobs.
Unemployment.
Yes, I was not employed because I got married immediately after school. So I had no job at that point. Guys, I had no car at that point. I had not bought a plot. Gosh,
Love hit you so hard that you forgot about this.
Yangu niko to X. Not happened. X had not happened. X had not. Quite a number of things had not happened.
And you could plan like a happen.
Exactly. Like it unfolds to, and I trust in God's planning because He just brings these things at the right time and when He thinks. Because come to look in retrospect, I think if my fantasies were fulfilled. Sijui kama hii town kungekalika.
Unatembea juu ya hewa.
Hamgeto hii town.
Ungepumua.
Town.
Ningetesa.
God knew.
God must have known that.
Is that the point where we say
thank you Jesus. Thank God for Jesus. Yeah, so those were my fantasies. Like nilikuwa na all that whole long list. Lakini tuseme to God had better plans because He knew if things had unfolded the way I wanted them. Guys, tusingepumua naenda njia ile pana ya hell. Like I should very fast be walking towards that direction. But thank God that things unfold at God's pace and in the way He would want. Quite a number of those things have come to pass, but way later after that time.
Nice.
Oh, mnangojea mimi.
Tunangojea wewe.
Hizo vitu.
What was my
definition of
success to me? I think at that point was at 18.
No, as in
before marriage.
Before marriage.
So that you transition.
Definitely, I would be practicing engineering, of course. I'd be constructing highways, huku.
Wow.
Just traveling, entering jets.
Exploring the world.
Come back. That was that. At that point, I had started business, so definitely I wanted to have a business of my own, have it successful. I think initially, because what I was doing was party accessories, hizi vitu za baby shower, bridal shower, hizo ma headbands. So nilikuwa nataka kuwa na a big store. Kama boutique, accessorized by style, so ukwe na something like that. Here, what else did I want? I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted a ranch. Kutoka ranch. Kuna kondo, buzi.
Tuko pamoja. We'll still continue dreaming. Pia mimi niko kwa huo mkondo.
Because remote place. Mahali uko tu na take care of my animals.
Kuna nyamaza.
Exactly. Hiyo ndio nilikuwa nataka. Did I want land? Not really. No, not really. But then I knew at that point because I'm the firstborn. Nilikuwa Fiona, nataka kuwa niko na pesa mingi yenye na dish out to my siblings because we had a really tough upbringing. So ilikuwa ni zile za nitalipia watu shule, ni create a company yenye itakuwa imesimamia the rest of the family. So that wewe kama una kazi unaingia hapo, which is still something I'm working towards. But hiyo ya ranch, well, God aliangalia akasema ngoja kidogo. Engineering akasema my sister, that's not where you're going. So nikaenda hapo nimeingia events from engineering. It was just a whole two different paths. Kabisa. But then also, but the interesting bit, most of the things nilikuwa na dream of ni vitu ninafanya, because being in the wedding industry, doing events, planning parties and planning events. Live experiences. I think nilikuwa nataka kufanya live experiences, but then haikuwa it come through this year actually.
It has actually come through this year.
It come through this year. So 2024 will be a year of live experiences.
I know.
So that's nice. I think when we were looking also at this success and achievements, we were like, sometimes now you see venye umesema they didn't happen then, but they're still happening right now, even now in marriage. But kuna ile pia tulikuwa tuna envision maybe you'll be the queen in a castle, like forever and ever, like happily forever after. Una get, and then unakuja like sasa kwa ground venye tulikuwa tunaongelea tu like finances. Unapata maybe we have to slow down on this. Maybe we have to start.
You have to slow down.
You have to slow down. Maybe you were thinking of Runda or Kadini, but it's like it can't be that fast.
It can't be.
You're saying you had a story.
Sasa unajua nilifikiria engineering nikifanya sahi ningekuwa niko huko somewhere with my peers. But then nika decide to take the route of entrepreneurship. Then mimi si trust fund baby. Sina sugar daddy. Hizo enzi early when we were younger, 20s, 25, most of the girls ilikuwa kama unataka ku make it by the way unatafuta tu sugar baba. Unatafuta kambaba. Which sasa ndio inajulikana but it started a long time ago. So it meant bootstrapping. Na bootstrapping inamaanisha unaanza na tuso. By then nilianza na tuso, nilianza na kufanya jewelry. Jewelry ndio nikanunua vitu za nini zitaje hizo party accessories. So from hapo ilikuwa una plow back into the business. But then now remember mimi ni first born, inamaanisha
you still have to give
support nyumbani.
Black tax.
Kuna black tax exactly. So inamaanisha hapa utasave hapo utanunua chakula. Utasave na hata hiyo ni kitu tulikuwa tuna discuss not so long ago when we were saying people need to talk about the realities of actually just life, because the top tier hapa hao watu wenye trust fund babies maybe umepata ka jackpot au umeangukia ka job kapoa ni a very small fraction. Most of us tuko hapa katikati. Hii katikati ya the reality is lazima
this is how we have to prioritize.
Yes, I have to prioritize. So unaenda most of these master classes unaambiwa you just need to reinvest back into the business. I'm like, how am I reinvesting back?
Na bado inatoka.
Make it make sense. How? Will I pay rent or will I reinvest back into the business? Will I run an ad? Or reinvest back into the business. So just such realities, then inafanya sasa uko zile za okay, so this is my reality. So then let's move. Juu pia kuna hiyo part ya kukua delulu. Unaweza amua ukue delulu na
the whole time you deny your situation.
Una live.
But I think also what is portrayed online is a lot of fantasy. On our 6th anniversary gift number 1, it's not bad if you can afford it. But it will be so bad if you expect your person to do this, like you're fantasizing and you want it to become reality. Yet you know that this cannot happen. You need, as Sui saying, to prioritize. So kuna those, you know, the goals, the what that is portrayed, but kuna the reality as we are now talking about. This is a very important conversation, and you now needs to keep rolling even to
wana Nyuzi. And dear wale brides to be when you have kwa wives. Because things don't just happen when you uko na expect. They take time. Even sometimes the issue of like children, you find that unapata beshte yako walionge maybe wao walishapata mtoto ama nyinyi bado hamjapata mtoto. Kuna such kind of pressure of get some of these things, getting land, changing from one estate to the other.
But they like no one should give you pressure your children.
You're taking your time.
Nani atakuwa anangangana na mtoto? Ni anyone asking you about children and like
niwe utalea.
Just idea.
What's the response? By these people who ask you atitulete diapers.
Kuna watchers. Do you know it's as bad as, especially for not to sound disrespectful, but especially to your close family and to women who are advanced in age where they believe, and in communities where they believe a woman's value or a marriage's value is drawn from children. Watakujadi wanakushika tumbo kusikia kama then wengine hata wanaanza kutumia madawa za maybe she's struggling, maybe she's the and sometimes it's even the woman herself who pressures herself that so that my value is waone I am a quote unquote woman enough na itaje kupata children. There are those who will go as far as I need to get specifically a boy child, and so the reality is you just need to know your person and know yourself and stand by what you know is right. Like me, I think I got my firstborn into the 2nd year of marriage, not because I was pressured, but because I just felt okay. And then I asked myself but there is someone who will feel, no, I'm not getting this. Why are we even looking for?
I'm like, I'm not ready.
I talk to you directly.
Don't go
around the corners. And I cannot invalidate her feelings. She is justified, and I'm also, she cannot invalidate my feelings and justify. So I think he needs self-realization. Kujijua. so that you do not get into the pressure, or the expectation. There are people, as you're saying, who will get a child even without planning. The child is there. The people who will struggle for
living example.
Come on.
And there are those who will
Talk to
wait
me
9
directly.
years. And there are those who will wait 9-10 years.
Yeah.
None of them is better than the other.
Even
Just
finances,
because they got
there are-
one earlier.
I think there are different processes. There are guys who will get married,
They
na
thrive.
Mungu ni kama wao wako tu. And then sasa
Imekuja.
kuna wale wenye you have to work.
Work at it
through a
slowly.
process.
It's a process.
It takes time.
Yeah.
For example, like us, now we are both entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Our life looks completely different from someone who has.
Yes.
These guys have 8 to 5 jobs.
8 to 5, yeah.
And she has a side hustle.
Yeah,
So
true.
unaona those two kuna
Very
difference.
different.
And sometimes I think the conversation should be, you shouldn't pressure yourself. There's no way I'll pressure myself to be where Fiona is.
Yeah.
Fiona is 2 years ahead of me.
Yeah, true.
So there's no way we are on the same.
We
are never on the
Yes,
same
it's
path.
true.
We are never on the same path.
Even twins are never on the same path.
Exactly. We are not on the
I
same
mean-
path. And I think those are the things that people need. What's anchoring you? And I think it goes back to, for those of us who believe in the Bible, where are you drawing your identity from?
True.
Because if you know where you draw your identity from, then it's easy to say, it's easy to anchor yourself on God, even when things are not looking as what the society says it should look like.
Or as you
Because-
fantasized.
Exactly.
As you
Yes.
fantasize.
Or are
Or
fantasizing.
or from your family of origin. There's a wedding I did
yes.
some years back. In the history in that family was, when you hold a wedding, people outdo themselves in terms of cakes. So the previous weddings, each table had a cake. So hawa wase pia walifanya the same thing, but I think they didn't have a budget. So saa zingine even family can really pressure you, kuzo so and so alifanya, so
Wewe.
lazima
Ilikuwa
Yeah,
ghorofa
ufanye.
sijui ngapi.
exactly. But lazima mu, and
The
I
two of
think
you.
lazima mukue on the same
same
wavelength,
page. Ah,
because
yes.
two cannot work together unless
Unless
they
they agree.
agreement.
Yeah.
And agreement doesn't just necessarily mean in terms of agreeing, yes, let's get married. It's agreeing, this is how life will be. This is currently how life is.
Yes.
We are not doing well, so this is what we will do.
Yeah.
We have to agree. Si ati unaangalia huko Instagram
mwingine.
inakupea pressure.
Jirani amebadilisha makochi
Exactly.
ya leather.
Pia wewe unataka ku-
nini?
Unasema nataka kama ya ule. Nataka flowers kama
Doesn't
flowers
work
na
like
kama
that.
hamuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we working
Ataenda
together.
kuibie Lang'ata.
Alafu I think
Kwa
kuna
wakufi.
hii-
Sorry.
the unalived.
Unalive. Wakufi. Oh, they're called wow, sorry.
Wafarikishaji.
Nimetry.
Wenda zao.
Wafu.
Wenda zao.
Wafu.
Yes, that
Hiyo.
one.
Yeah.
That's
So
one.
it has to be, because for us when we got married, our best couple told us one thing. Walisema finances ni Mungu anapeana. Na ana bless marriage through wewe ama yeye.
Anyone.
But then also kuna hiyo stereotype ya the man should be the provider. But I think that is also relative in the sense that whatever works for you. So if it works for the man to be the sole provider and you make the
Baby
home,
girl.
do you? If it works for you that both of us are actually working and building, which works now for us, both of us are building, both of us are pushing.
True.
Our man, it's our money, it's not his
Mine.
money, ours, and then mine. It's
Our money.
Exactly.
In one pot.
Exactly. Obviously there are boundaries zile za kila mtu ako na account yake, tuko na
of
account
course,
ya
yeah.
nyumbani, etc. But then now find what works for you, because I think most of the issues zenye people who go through ni juu una allow other voices, lakini nyinyi hamjui mnataka nini. Hamjakaa, hamjasikizana.
You've not sat down, you've not
Exactly.
known what you want.
Hamjaongea.
Listen to
So
other voices.
Susan akisema, hata Susan nilisikia, Joy
Hata nani
akisema,
alisema.
hata Joy alisema. So uko tu nani alisema, but
So many voices.
Mnasema
mnasemaje?
nini?
Okay, I think that was nice nini. Ilikuwa deep care. Ilikuwa deep.
No, kuna emotion before to
before to balizie. We wanted to sasa on a light note, kuna ile aspect ya appreciation. Unajua I think mimi niki fantasize about marriage. Nilikuwa najuanga tu yeye anafaa ku behold the beauty. And all the behold the beauty, my king, and appreciate me. You know, and like every time you expect me, is it only on my side? What do you feel? What are those especially appreciation and celebration as a woman before and even in marriage? How do we take that?
I think mine is not, how do we say it? It's sort of different. I feel like kwa sababu where I grew up from a home that didn't have a man. Let's start from there.
Oh, a man.
There was no man. So it was just our mom and us girls. That is one. So technically I didn't know what to expect. Then two, going into now dating and relationships, I had my bar. It was the bare minimum. Like yangu ilikuwa tu ni so long as you treat me right, I treat you right. You love God, I love God. Na nilikuwa najua because I knew I wanted someone who was committed, who was accountable, because I was like, hawezi kuwa sijui uko hivi aje. Nilikuwa na hizo, but then I feel kuna mahali ilikuwa ikue. Sometimes nilikuwa na miss
because
kwa sababu ya my background. Na hiyo ina affect I think afterwards when I realized kumbe so nimekuwa na trauma, nimekuwa affected quite a bit. So I don't expect kwa sababu sitaki kukuwa disappointed. Naona so kuna hiyo so sahi ndio nina learn
that you need to be
being that mimi ni mtu wa ku speak up. I think slowly as I discover myself as a woman, now is when now I'll speak up over certain things. I'll be like, no, I think this is something I'd really want. This is something because kitabu ilikuwa unaniambia I love you, I'm like
brother.
I didn't expect it, but because of your I didn't expect it, but umeniambia it's fine.
Nilikuanga zile za sikuwa najua kwa appreciate affection. Even though najua ni kitu nilikuwa nataka
but you don't know how to react.
Juu ya vile vitu maisha imenitwanga.
Twanga is proper Kiswahili.
It's proper Swahili.
Leo wadi ya bride tuelewe tu.
Watu wa Nyuzi nyinyi.
Uko sawa.
Sisi ni threads.
Nyinyi ni threads.
So juu ya vile life ilikuwa imetutwanga, ujui what to expect ama how to express yourself. Na most of the things I think una learn from either movies ama uta learn from shows, but then now pole tulianza kukaa under married people. Tulikuwa single, tulikuwa tuna hang around married guys. So hapo ndio unaona huyu anakuwa treated hivi, that is nice, that's something I'd want. Ama ile self education pale YouTube unaona nice healthy things. So kuna hiyo part sasa mimi nilikuwa on the flip side. What should I expect aside from the fundamental things? Kuna hizo vitu on top zenye definitely ziko na unafaa ku expect, but then hujui where do we start from?
For me I had expectations because me I've been brought up as baby girl. In fact I think occasionally you keep saying Aki, you were just spoiled, like because for me I have been brought up with so much affection growing up, where which school would work for you. I remember when I went to my first high school and things didn't work out, my dad was ready to shift me to another school that things would work out, and I went there. When I went to university, and I felt the distance to home was long. He looked for a place where tunapikiwa and things are done for us. So my university life was just nice. So there was that whole pampering and being told you're the best.
Ili uone kuna difference, wacha nikucut short. Mimi primary school nilikuwa napewa pesa ya trips. Nafaa kukula snacks. Susan ataenda na hiyo anunulie mom gift, arudishie mom gift. just you see how
the
difference.
So different.
I had to grow up quite early.
I know.
Ama unarudi na nyanya.
Exactly. Na niko primary school.
So for me there was all that whole pampering thing where things are done for you. To some extent, it's for those who are doing that, but to some extent, there are things in life I did not learn because of the quote-unquote protection I had growing up. And some of these things now, when I went into marriage, I expect the same treatment or better.
Yeah.
Like I expect you to pamper me, treat me like a baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Like the baby that you are.
You guys, he suffered the first year.
Alikiona cha mtema kuu.
Who is this again? That I married because she's such a baby. Because I would just expect to be treated like a baby, a baby
what
girl.
It should be though.
Yeah,
I know, but there's the fact that
that.
you also need to take responsibility. I think for me, I woke up to the occasion when I got a baby. I was like,
Guys, your mama sasa.
Mimi ndio mama. Hapa
Amka.
There's another baby in the house.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I kept on like really over expecting. He really tried. Being that he has come from tough love. Wako 6 boys kwao. Wow. To begin with. Now the dad is tough, but he's tough, nice, but kwao ilikuwa tough love. Hakuna hii love daddy, I love you.
Tough love.
Ati I love you, sijui what.
You get the opposite.
Hiyo ilikuwa ni vocabulary. In fact, after kusema I love you, okay, anajua anakupenda na ana expect kujua anakupenda, but expressing it. Atafiloko I love you. But you know like
nataka kutorona.
Jamani, yes, I love you. You know, like there's that affection, but saying it kwanza in public.
Na wewe sasa uko na
public. Why didn't you introduce me when you were speaking as your wife? And all, and now today, right now, 6 years later is when like it sank in, and it's, but he would stand and, you know, he speaks in public places, and he would speak and he would even forget to introduce me. Kai, napika kwa nyumba. Like, na hata mbona huko ni introduce kusema in my lovely wife,
my beautiful, my beautiful,
and we stand wave, stand pretty and wave, you know, like I expected those things. And then you get someone who is the opposite, hata anasahau kuintroduce.
Kama kujui.
Ama umevaa hapo yote.
What did I do? Tulikosana jana. Mbona
okay.
Introduce?
We're okay.
Hey, but then it used to just make me feel bad because I'm like, but now I learned we are from 2 very different backgrounds. I have been brought up being pampered, being told these words, you're the best.
You're smart today.
You're
smart.
My dad would even tell me, every watch nione what you've won. Unakaa vizuri. Unaenda wapi leo? You know, like he would compliment you. He would, you know, pamper you with, hey, here is someone who hata karibu hata akubuki hata
ama you just bought this new dress.
You even make your nails and karibu unakaa hivi. He doesn't notice. He does not even notice.
Your nails are nice.
Your son even notices first. It's the least of his worries. And it does not he does not make it. It is not that he doesn't appreciate you or love you. It's just that he's been brought up his expression is not that way. Like we are from 2 very. So I had this expectation, and slowly I have had to just make peace. I think you know, when I have made peace with the fact that sometimes he won't introduce me, sometimes he won't, and it's not that he doesn't love me. Niko sabutu the way he's cultured. When I've made peace is when now he's shifting and now I'm nowadays even surprised that leo nini ilikushika. And yet sometimes I don't even know what women want. He introduces you
and then
you're like unataka
ulifanya nini?
Ama leo umefanya nini nisamee. You know. Then when he doesn't, it is still also just a whole case. So I think in compromise too, like you learn each other.
And for you guys,
I think for us, it's just the same. Unaona kama venye unasema unakuja maybe even a new hairstyle, and then maybe ulikuwa na expect tu kakitu kama babe unakaa poa. apparently tulikuwa tunauliza is it a guy's thing ama yeah, cause it's like I'm not the only one, they kind of not, they don't notice.
Yeah.
Nyingine nikaambiwa maybe inaweza kuwa umechengeza but sio poa na hatuwezi sema si poa. Kwa sababu itakuwa kesi.
Na hata ukiinsist sana, mbona hujaniambia, anakwambia na si unakuanga poa kila siku.
Unakuanga poa. You're always beautiful. You're always looking good. So probably, you know, some of the things you learn.
Yeah. Even them they can learn.
They can learn.
Because I know they also have expectations. Because even me, I remember, I was shocked that you unakuanga na expectations. Sikujua. As in, stereotype yangu ilikuwa ni big men.
Yeah, they're just there.
They're not simple. They're complicated.
Men are complicated.
They are complicated. I agree with you. They are complicated. Like kama sasa hiyo kutoa nguo nje, lazima umwambie. Sio ni complication.
And I have men also have a nothing box. A man can sit like this and they're thinking about nothing.
Yes.
How is that even possible? Yeah, ama hawezi multitask.
Watch ball
akitext.
Aki-update
ni kama tutawaleta siku nyingine hizi maswali zote.
Watuambie tutayata.
Yeah.
So I think naona time yetu imeenda, lakini nani anasema acha tumalizie.
Yeah, one more. Unaona, while I was still, you know, dating and all that, I was thinking like ukiingia huko kwa marriage, mimi siwezi ngoja. You know, the sexual beat, like it would be every day.
Especially when you're waiting.
When you're waiting. Then you get there. Ukitoka hapo umebeat, utaenda kugeukia mzee.
Ninaumwa na kichwa.
Unasema unaumwa na kichwa?
Hao mama wenyewe wanasema
ati anaumwa na kichwa. Kwani ni kichwa ndio inafanya kazi?
All my life nitaumwa na kichwa aje? Ama nitachoka aje? So the fantasies around you.
It was totally.
I know. Yeah.
Fiona.
It's hot in here.
What fantasies did I have?
I think mi yangu nilikuwa nafikiria itakuwa kama unaona kwa hizi love scenes vile. Oh baby.
Ama mmeingia kwa nyumba ni moto like
unaanga sitting room.
When I look at your eyes I just know. Well, kuna hizo moments. Lakini sio
they don't last.
Hollywood unaonyesha. Sio mingi.
Ama mlikuwa kwa gari you are just waiting
mwalai
tuingie kwa nyumba
tunafunga kitu unakuuliza kwa nyumba
hata ushayo
like by the way story
imeisha. You story imeenda.
I think also the notion that it happens every day is a lie.
Okay,
I think the first years of honeymoon, of course, I think
honeymoon you're kind of amateurs though.
No, honeymoon it will happen and over happen. But now when you get back to the reality of life, sometimes you, especially for like us who you're going to work, I'm also going to work. You are exhausted. Like by the time you come back home, hata una blackout kwa kitanda na unalala, you know, like you are so tired and exhausted that utapata even the frequency sometimes reduces. There are times where it reduces, there are times where it picks up. So I think it's just you striking a balance. And in a case where
and communicate. People I realize people don't talk, couples don't talk about sex. Talk about it.
Mimi mtu
anauliza mahali, Nyuzi, dear news lights. Wananyuzi. Sasa sijaambia sijui mume wangu na hujamuongelesha.
Atajua.
You need to
talk, communicate. Kama una feel frequency kidogo, ongea.
Ongeza.
Hata during the actual act you should talk. Unafaa hapo umeshika hapo ndipo.
Endelea.
Usitoke hapo.
Exactly. Ama hapa
ziko.
Leo haiwaka. Na tunacheka na tunasonga mbele. It should be.
And even understanding the cycle.
Understanding the cycle.
Sometimes you can say ukishika hapa nasikia raha. Sometimes ukishika hapa nasikia so like the communication kind of
and also
is very important.
You knowing that there's one side, there's fantasy and then there's reality. And by the time you get to this place you have been fantasizing, pia ni kazi because this is someone lazima umfunze where your body, because they were not born with you. hawajui. You have lazima uwafunze. Me when I'm touched here,
yes,
nafurahia. But me when I'm touched here, I don't like it. So lazima pia wafunze. And I think also it's a learning. Kwanza the first year inakuwaga I didn't even know when you nini my ears. It is amazing.
You're also learning yourself.
So pia wewe unajilearn kwa sababu there are some things you will discover. You're like you don't know. But then also there's the reality that kuna wenye watapata say watoto the first year. It looks different. It looks different everyone, in a change, a whooping hole. There are people who, when they are expectant, their libido is completely gone. In fact, wako tu akiata sasa huku nilijileta kufanya nini. And there are those who, it will be amazing. And there are those who, immediately after they get a baby, things change. They don't even want to be touched. They don't want. And there are those who watapenda. So I think Nikulan, let's work together. Cannot work together unless they agree. And agreeing that there are health aspects also to this whole sex issue. That sometimes it's not that we anipendi hanitaki. Sometimes it's just that health wise, you know, like
mimi nilirealize mwambie hapa cycle yangu
hapa napenda hivi
hapa niko ovulation. So hata yeye anaanza kuclick ovulation stage kuna kitu. Sasa nikiona una behave fine najua hizo macho. Let's get down. You know? Alafu kuna hiyo after the cycle after your before your period your luteus phase or something. So hata sisi wenyewe lazima tujielewe kama wanawake. Alafu pia tufunze wanaume wetu
how to understand us.
Your physiology. Just because walisoma biology hawaelewi.
Hawaelewi, you need to communicate.
Kuna stories za watu wenye wanasema tulienda honeymoon tulikuwa tunatafuta vagina iko wapi. Yeah, they had to look at Google. Happened your vagina. So it's not as straightforward.
But then sometimes it's not as
you
need to talk.
Hapo ndio the right spot.
Sio huko kwenye
exactly.
And this is what I like.
It's a matter of communication.
Ama sio lazima usiku, pia inaweza kuwa saa zingine.
Hata mchana.
Niambia ni
pia kuna, but I think it's also an African cultured thing. Because to me grow up tukiambiwa no to sex. Sex is bad. Sex is what. So hata ukiolewa, hiyo ndio notion uko nayo. I remember when I was going back to church after I had, I had gotten married. Nilikuwa naona tu kai. Wananiona aje? Wanajua what happening. Hey, wait until you get pregnant and it starts showing.
Huyu tunajua.
Huyu sasa wanajua sasa imesio. So I think pia ni culture thing. Like we need to also have the conversation that sex is God's idea.
It's actually God's idea.
And especially when you are getting ready for it. Kwa sababu tunaambiwa no. Tunakuwa na no mingi sana.
Even during the dating phase. Especially if you know this is someone I'll marry, we are engaged. Talk about sex. What are your negotiables, non-negotiables? Do you want oral, no oral? Because not everyone is into things. And remember, I was just seeing, niliona on Instagram, there was a thread of someone, I think, who was asking. It's not vulgar, but they are also a podcast, but then they have these Q&As. So one of the guys was asking, so how can I tell my wife, is it wife? Yeah, my wife, how much I want oral sex. And then one of the panelists was like, why do you partner with people who do not align with you sexually as well? Because that's you need to talk about it.
You need to talk about it,
because kuna watu wanataka oral, kuna wenye wataki. Kuna wenye watafanya all those other things.
There are those who will.
There's some who will not.
So make it known before.
So make it known
earlier on.
This is my value system. This is my standard. These are my standards. These are things I think I can do. Then also sometimes a no during engagement or dating can turn to a yes in marriage at times. So it depends. But then talk about it.
We need to have
let's have those conversations. Because sex is a good thing. Sex
in marriage.
is a good idea. In marriage. That's what we strong for.
Of course,
in marriage. It's a good thing. It's a good idea. And I don't think angekuwa anaandika hizo Solomon.
Kama ingekuwa ni
mbaya. Hapo kwanza kuna huyu Tony Gobanga anafanyanga inaitwanga nini? Exposition about Songs of Solomon. And he shows all the different things that actually God approved within that specific point.
Okay.
Na mahali umeshindwa kuna sex therapist.
Yeah, by the way, yes. And let's normalize going for therapy. Don't demonize ama make friends wako wa feel funny wakitaka kwenda for therapy. I mean, in this day and age, let's normalize therapy.
Amazing. Sawa. Sasa wacha niwasomee the card. I hope you enjoy your conversation and let us know whether you want us to have Sue and Fiona back. Mimi tayari nasikia
wakuje
warudi.
Nyuzi.
Yeah, so let me give you the number tunamalizia. I think nilikuwa nimefika kwa 71. So hiyo inafuatilia sasa ni 9170254. Ya mwisho 9170254. Na ndo nikuwe fair, wacha nisome tena kuanzia mwanzo. You are lucky today. So ni 3562-866-719-170254. Sawa. So MK, hebu tuambie wafungie kipindi hapo.
Yaani mimi hapa nimejifunza ni kama I'm going back to the drawing board. Nilikuwa na expect sasa nimeweka X because I still have expectations by the guys. As you work but not die.
To have them, what I usually say is unmet expectations breed disappointment and cause frustration. So talk about
how to tame it and talk about
you'd rather talk about it ndio mtu anashuka ulikuwa una expect hiyo sikuwa najua. So from hapo ata decide hii naweza ama naweza hadi hapa. Then tusonge.
Wananyuzi mshasikia, talk about it. Usijifungie, ukizifungia zita explode. Mambo yatalipuka. Alafu mtaachana. We are here for marriage. We are advocating for marriage, guys. So kama tulivyosema, those are our merchandise, bottles, umbrellas, makofia. By the way kuna joto sana. Yeah. So kindly get the umbrellas, mvua pia inakuja. And then tunakuanga na closing remarks ya guests.
You do something. And we actually happen to know that you guys sing. Mnataka kuimba ama mnataka kucheza
ama mnataka kudance? I will no ngomba, you tell us what you want.
Afadhali to dance.
Unaona hivyo? The trending one. Unajaribu kushake huko.
Lakini
you guys know it.
Tutajaribu tu.
Mtajaribu kudance.
Sawa.
Director anatuambia aje
nadhani
by the guys talk about
yeah.
Well, Dear Bride is a business. It's a podcast. Tuko na podcast. Tuko YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
All
Bride
social
after Dear Bride
platforms, by the way. Dear Bride KA, we are for marriages as Nyuzi.
As well.
We work
for young women.
And we work with guys who are heading towards marriage. Na pia after you get married. And for those who are planning their weddings, we have a wedding planner, the Dear Bride wedding planner. You can go on our socials, utapata all the details on how to get it and how to purchase it. So we are for godly marriages.
Godly marriages.
And we love marriage and working with people who also love marriage.
Amazing. Sawa. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Tuambie comment zako hapo chini. Ni vitu gani una fantasize, especially wale wenye mnataka kuingia kuolewa ama wale mshaolewa. What were your fantasies? Let us know what your fantasies were. Hapo as you continue with the conversations and how we are adjusting. Sindio? Okay. Aya, sawa. Until next time, sote tunaweza sema I think kamera yetu ni hiyo.
Kwaheri.
Bye.